Welcome to Pokemon. The worst thing ever.
United Airlines.
This is the big one this week.
Oh, is it?
Like Syria, okay. North Korea, you'll be right.
Jeez. Should we reenact it?
Thor Ragnarok, okay.
United Airlines.
United.
He doesn't believe that. That's why he paused after.
This is
he
what-
joked on that.
This is what
He hated himself for saying it.
everyone's talking about. This is on everybody's lips.
It's on my lips.
I don't even know what United Airlines was. It's an American airline. Did you guys know?
Who knew?
The name gives it away.
It doesn't say America.
Wasn't that one of the planes that
United.
went into
United
States of
World Trade Center?
America.
Hillsong United.
United Nations.
Oh.
United. Manchester United.
Yeah,
See?
you're arguing against yourself. Good job.
So United Airlines and almost every other airline in the world practices this thing called overbooking.
Wow.
Did you guys know that?
Jeez, John.
John sounds shocked.
Jono loves overbooking.
What is overbooking, Chris?
Overbooking's when you go online,
Yep.
you buy your airplane tickets,
Yep. You book it.
you see terms and conditions.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't read them.
I read that. Check that.
Tick.
And then you get your ticket, right?
Yes.
And they sell tickets to not just you, but to a few other people, and they are
Right.
also going on that flight.
Yes. There's a few people on the plane.
And what they do, they sell over,
Oh.
or you could say they oversell the amount of tickets.
Would you say they overbook the plane?
But you
It
could
could be
say
called
that.
oversold as well, because that's what The Simpsons called it.
Oversold.
Do you remember the episode where Bart and Lisa get bumped to first class?
No.
Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
stewardess comes online and says, due to our policy of overselling this, our flight has been oversold.
And they
Wow.
And
jump
they
on the
have to
people's
run.
heads.
They have to run in front,
Yeah.
and like
Oh, I
they
do.
get, yeah,
I got that image in my head.
yeah.
So everyone does this.
Everyone does this. So they
wouldn't-
sell more
they
tickets
wouldn't make money if
than
they did.
seats on the planes.
Because a lot of people don't show up. Is that the idea?
There's
or
a
people cancel?
certain percentage.
They
have all
run
these
the
computer-
algorithms.
Yeah.
They get the hackers to run the, and they figure out how many tickets they can sell compared to how many people usually cancel. Like mean, median, average, maths. They do the maths.
I get what you're arguing, but that's not actually the case here, is it?
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Right?
They have
And
a
then-
they have a model for how many people are going to miss. a
And-
flight.
No, I mean, wasn't the decision that they needed their staff to go somewhere?
That's a part
of it. That's a part of it.
Right.
Because if there was, say, 50 seats on the plane and they had 10 staff, instead of selling 40 tickets, they sold 50.
Right.
This did seem like they left it slightly finer though, because them moving their own people around, you'd think they'd have more margin on that.
So
You know, like
And
if
you-
you got like 10 flights going.
Yeah,
somewhere,
and
you'd,
usually
like,
you
find a
get
way.
told you're getting bumped like at the gate. Not
This
when-
was like the
once you-
last flight those other crew could have made,
Yeah.
so that they made the next flight, so it didn't delay that one.
So this was a rare. It's an
Instance.
odd occasion, but this happens all the time. Apparently, like it's never happened to me. I fly.
It
I
rarely
don't fly
happens
that much.
in the plane. I think.
yes,
Yeah,
doesn't
it
usually
very rarely
happen
happens in the plane. So that's what's odd. But like this happens all the time. Apparently,
Isn't it crazy that it's like a normal policy?
Yeah, there's so many dumb things about this. Like, for one, offer them more friggin' money or something. If
Yeah.
you offered me like $2,000, I would get off any plane.
wait. Should
But-
he tell a story first, or are we just going to?
So what happened, Chris?
all right. So United Airlines, they had a flight. It's overbooked. For United Airlines staff, they need to get on this flight.
Right.
So they got to get to where are they going? Kentucky.
Yep, fried chicken.
Yep. They got to get their chicken.
Yep.
And so they get on. It's real late. So everyone's already on the plane. They're boarded. Usually it's at the gate. Like, sorry guys, we're overbooked. Here's a travel voucher. We're really sorry. And then you go away and you're angry. But now you're on a plane. You're ready to go. Guys, does anyone want to get off and take the next flight?
Wait, was there a next flight?
There's always a next flight.
Maybe it was the last of the night. Was it at night?
I can't remember.
How much did they offer them to get off?
It was a plane ticket and a hotel stay.
So-
right?
It wasn't $800.
I think
I
that's
thought
the
it was
value
$800.
of what they offered, wasn't it?
Oh, so it wasn't $800 cash? Because normally they offer cash.
No. It depends. So if you volunteer, you only get what they give you, which is maybe some vouchers.
Okay.
And then, but eventually, if you're forced off and you're told you cannot come on,
Yep.
they can offer you like cash.
Yep.
So if you're like, if it's against your will, they have to fly you to your destination.
Of
They
course.
have to get you there. But if you get to your final stop 1 to 2 hours late, or 1 to 4 hours internationally, they're required to pay you double the original fare.
Wow.
Cash.
Really?
So
Whose requirement is that?
That's the law.
So there's actually is
on the airlines. And
So-
if you're more than 2 hours late or 4 internationally, they have to pay 400%
wow,
of the fare.
that is not bad.
Mm.
So I book a flight to Canada for $1,000, and they butt me, and my flight's 6 hours late, or 6 hours later. I get $4,000, and the flight.
Apparently,
That is not bad. It's a good business.
You'll have to read the terms and conditions.
this is a very rare thing though, compared to the percentage of people. Like percentage-wise, people who fly, I think it was like 0.01 or something like that, right?
I don't know. Because
I heard a quote as like 0.01.
I was listening to
this
podcasts
happens.
and they're like, yeah, I've seen that happen. That's happened. Before.
Yeah, but think
So-
of like the millions of people who fly.
I know what podcast you're talking about, and they fly like every day.
Yeah.
So this happened on a United Airlines flight.
Yeah. But apparently, like, it happens all the time. And so there was a guy, and they were like, no one volunteered. So, like, okay, well, we've got to choose people randomly.
So 4 people had to get off.
No, they don't choose randomly. They have a computer algorithm for that.
To choose this. Oh, yeah. So the computer chooses. It's like who booked latest, who
Yeah,
arrived
it's like
latest,
latest
all this
booking. It's
stuff.
never going to be first class or business class. It's always
Or
gonna
if
be
you have
economy.
high status.
Yeah, or high status number of miles comes into it. They basically go from the lowest. up.
Wow.
So
Okay.
three people got booted off.
How very feudal society.
They're gone. And then there's one more guy. He's there.
Yep.
And he said, no, I'm not leaving.
Yep.
I am a doctor. I got to get to my patients.
Wow.
I'm not getting off the flight.
That's a fair excuse.
And so United Airlines / a couple of police officers, airport police officers.
Yeah, it was airport security, wasn't it?
I thought it was air marshals.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever
It's
their
hard to
department's
see.
called.
We have no comment from United. So
Yep.
they forcibly drag him off the airplane.
Yeah. And there's video footage of him being
There is
dragged.
video footage, all sorts
Yeah.
of video footage.
There's plenty of video footage.
and it's
And
pretty brutal.
There's blood coming out of his mouth.
He's bleeding. He's
He's not bleeding as he gets
smashed
dragged
his
out.
head.
Right?
He is.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
is
think
he?
when they
It's-
pulled him off his seat, he hit his face into the armrest,
yeah.
which caused the bleeding, and then you just see him being dragged
And then
down
he's-
the
Which you
aisle.
can't really tell either, because the way it's kind of, it looks like someone broke his nose by hitting him in the face.
Mm.
Yeah, because there's blood like dripping out of his mouth.
Correct.
Yeah. So
Classic, like that's like in an anime when someone gets stabbed.
Yeah.
That's how you know that they got stabbed. It's like internal bleeding.
Yeah.
They bleed out of their mouth.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
just his mouth. It's
Yeah.
not even his nose.
Yeah.
It's just his mouth.
so he's
And-
cracked
yeah.
something in his mouth.
I think he smacked his tooth on the
He could have like bitten his tongue.
armrest or something like that. Yeah, and then there's blood pouring out of his mouth. The guy's clearly dazzled.
so. It's excessive force. They removed this guy from the plane, but
And
then
he runs back on.
they let him back on.
I don't know
I think
how.
they let him back
That's
on.
the only really, really hazy part of the story, right? Is like, how the hell did he get back on?
Yeah.
I thought that was before he got pulled off.
No.
So they pull him off,
They
and then
pulled
he
him
runs
off, and
back
he
on
runs
the plane.
back through, and then they like, and that's when he's clinging onto that thing
I
saying,
thought they
"Kill me,
let
just
him
kill
back
me."
on.
It looked like he was running away. It didn't look like he'd been let
Yeah.
back on anything.
Surely it's got to be someone outside the plane going, wait a minute, this is probably the worst thing for the PR of the company that we could ever possibly do.
Yeah, but then
maybe
he wouldn't let it
we
back
should
on.
just let the guy back on.
Shivers.
He doesn't run back on like he's been let back on.
He runs back on like he's running from something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think just think about it though. Think about like your social boundaries.
Didn't
and
they take him off again? Though?
like
They
your-
didn't let him fly.
your personal space. Someone has physically taken you from where you're supposed to be, impeding what you're trying
So-
to do with your life. Like I've never had that happen to me, so I don't know how I would react.
But let me ask a question. Like, as per the terms and conditions that he's agreed to, if he gets asked, you have to leave the plane.
Yeah.
Does he have to leave the plane?
Yes.
Yes.
I
Yeah,
think
in the fine
technically
print it's
the
in there.
the plane can do whatever they want in
Mm.
terms of who flies on it, who doesn't.
So technically, he should have said, "Okay, count my losses."
When
I
he
need to
was
get off the
asked
plane."
by those security, I think legally or whatever, you have to obey them.
So the fact that he didn't, does it warrant their actions of physically pulling him off?
They suspended the Chicago Department of whatever air safety or whatever that looks after those guards
Yep.
or whoever they were, marshals.
Yep.
They suspended one of their guys, so I think one of them definitely did something wrong.
Which sort of shows they've obviously done something wrong.
excess-
You don't
Excessive
suspend
is the
someone
word.
unless like
Yeah.
someone. And they just came out saying this is obviously not what we expect.
Well, yeah, and even more footage came out today of before the physical part. So footage came out of him talking to the security guard
when they're asking him to leave.
Yeah, and he's super reasonable. He's like, I have patients to see. And you'd think, like, the security just taking into account he's a doctor trying to help people, you'd think they would just go the next in the list or something.
Yeah.
I don't think that was security either. I think that was like the airline people talking to him. And that's when he was like, well, you have to, like, I think you have to.
Yeah, you're going to have to drag me out.
Yeah.
Which I don't think he
and I
actually
think it was like
meant to do.
and it sounded like it was the end of a very long sequence of flights or something to get where he wanted to go.
Look, airports make people crazy. I've seen some crazy people at airports.
Yeah.
Flying.
This guy isn't crazy, though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is flying makes you not normal.
Heightened.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And look, like you said, John, he might have just gotten off an 18-hour flight and,
Yeah.
you know, like, who knows what his circumstances are.
If that is the case, then he was still pretty reasonable. Like in
Yeah.
that pre-video, he's very clear. He's obviously like belligerent. Like he's not gonna move.
Yeah.
What
he's
did
a
the
doctor.
CEO do? Like he made it worse.
The
When
CEO made
the first thing he said was made it much worse.
He made a statement, and instead of saying, we're so sorry that we abused this man, he said, we apologize that we had to reaccommodate some of our passengers.
Yeah.
Which is just like far out.
And he
man.
came out in support of their staff. And to be fair, I think they were acting on company policy. They're not the ones who dragged the guy out.
Yeah.
Like
It was
that.
the air marshals.
Yeah. I'm not sure how much leeway they actually have in order to go, oh, look, the computer said this person's supposed to get off.
I'm actually
But this
gotta
person
do what the
shouldn't get
computer
off.
says. I don't think the air marshals are the bad guys in this. I mean, obviously things got out of hand, but it was their job to physically get him off the plane, and obviously he was resisting.
But one of them obviously used way too much force.
So who are
You
the
don't
bad
suspend
guys, Ali?
that guy otherwise.
Big business.
Until he said that suspension
The
thing,
man.
I thought they were doing what they were supposed to do.
No.
Which the suspension thing makes it seem like, okay,
One of them was suspended.
yeah.
I know what you mean, though. It's hard. Like, you got to get...
How can you be angry at the guy getting the guy off the plane when that's literally what
That's
he has
his
to do?
job.
The problem is the policy, though, obviously. They should have just kept... like, if you offer enough money, someone's going to get off that plane, right?
Yeah.
So that's what they're looking into, reviewing training procedures and policy.
If this
should-
is such a rare event, then they should be able to accept the costs.
They should turn
of
it into
the-
an auction.
Like, you put up 10 grand.
Yeah.
How much does this cost United?
Just say, all right, who's getting off the plane? 30 seconds later, okay, now it's $5,000.
Yeah, you
And
put
after,
everyone
okay, now it's
against each other.
$6,000. Who wants to get off?
And then people just wait for the higher
Yeah,
price.
they're all waiting. And
No,
they're like,
because
I
if
can't
someone,
take it.
because if someone takes
Yeah,
it,
it's
then
like-
they're
That's right, yeah.
It's like
There's
Deal or
just-
No Deal.
There's just mad tension in the plane. Everybody's just ready.
Everyone just looking
like,
sideways
"No
at each other.
Deal, I'm off.
And the doctor wouldn't have done it. He's got
Ka-ching,
plenty of
thank
money.
you. Thank you, I'm off. $6,000.
Everyone's cheering. Yeah, just waving.
We turned it into a game show, guys. We did it.
But yeah, that would be much better. The way he came out at first was terrible. Then they lost like 4% of their share price, which is like billion.
Yeah, it sucks. But you know
Jeez.
what? Like, as much as... Look, I think what they did was wrong, but I just hate the mob mentality of the internet where everybody's like, oh, never fly United again. It's like,
I
that
love it in
doesn't...
this instance.
That doesn't help anything. Like, it wasn't the
It
airlines.
kind of does.
Well, not really, because every airline does it. I'm not flying United, I'm going to fly Jetstar. Well, you know what? Jetstar does it too.
I think it helps defend people against companies, though.
Yeah, because
And-
companies see, if I do that, people aren't going to buy my stuff.
Because before
But they all
that,
do
like
it.
a company has all the power and they do something like this and no one cares.
And
There's
speak-
no repercussions.
So now, instead of dragging a guy off, they're going to
Start bidding.
offer...
Start bidding
Yeah.
on...
Yeah.
And speaking from personal experience, I've actually had two really, really, really bad experiences with United, and I've heard other people who've had really bad experiences with United.
Like that Reddit thread.
Yeah.
Share
Which-
your bad experience.
It was just like list after list after list of
Oh,
crap.
pretty
Like
bad.
I got stranded in LA when I was like 15 for like a day and a half by
Oh, geez.
myself. And it was like,
Party.
I learned a lot. I grew from it a lot, but
Jeez.
obviously like that wasn't my bloody intention. I wanted to come back to Australia.
Should make a movie about that.
Is it called Terminal?
Coming to Australia.
Yeah, you could be like, what's his name? Bloody hell,
Eddie
Castaway.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks, yeah.
Escape from LA.
Yeah. So at least nobody died. And at least we've been getting some great memes out of this.
Oh,
Some great
fantastic
classic-
memes.
Classic meme.
Like, and for the, what is it, the Emiratis?
Yep.
I said that wrong.
Emirates?
No,
Yeah,
you said it
Emirates,
right.
sorry. Emirates.
Something like Pilates.
Pilates?
I always see it on soccer jerseys, but I never read it out loud. You know that thing?
Qatar Airways came out with their app update saying we do not support drag and drop. And because there was the other one saying the United app update, and it was details, and it said now supports drag and drop features or something like that.
That's awesome.
But I think I did read an article saying Qatar Airways should probably stay out of it. Because normally companies don't go in for that kind of thing. They don't attack other companies because they could one day be at the wrong end.
They all seem to have the same policy, so
yeah.
It's a bit silly.
I don't know, but I have a personal vendetta against United, so they can
burn in hell.
Get stuffed.
Suck it.
Fly Delta.
Yeah. You know who gets a lot of flack that I have great time with?
Tiger
Tiger Air, exactly. I have the best flights with Tiger Air.
Tiger
They
sucks.
cop it so much, and they're so cheap.
Why do you say that?
best flight.
Did you actually have a bad...
They're always
experience?
late.
They've never been late.
The
with me.
plane smells.
They've never been delayed.
They never give you food.
The planes are newer than you'd think they'd be.
So many times.
There's no USB charger in the flight.
That I appreciate that because that's probably my biggest
That is a
plus
game
or
changer.
minus with a. But it's it costs $80 less than everything else. So that is a trade off.
Yeah.
You know? It's when a Qantas flight doesn't have a
Oh
USB
my
charger.
God.
It's what are you doing with your lives?
Makes my
How
blood
hard
boil.
is it to plug some freaking electricity in?
First world problems.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Everyone's got planes, man.
Yeah, how do you survive without your phone on a plane?
You die.
Or your DS. Or your Nintendo Switch.
Just drag me off.
Take a charger.
No, what?
Take a power
I
bank.
don't think you're...
Those
Are
are
you allowed
expensive.
to take a battery
Yeah.
on?
It's all
Okay.
wattage limitations.
Was it?
I know because I recently had to get a camera that I had to get batteries that wouldn't explode on an airplane.
I bought a big one.
You bought a big what?
What is...
I'm scared now. What wattage is my power bank?
95 is the limit on those batteries I have, and that's as high as you can go, I think.
Wow.
And 95 volts, I think, not watts. Anyway, that's super detailsy.
What?
So, oh, good one, Chris. He said, what about what? Anyway, this has been a great episode. It went really quickly. I feel like things got crazy. We talked really serious. We talked funny. We talked about everything. I'm thinking about getting this new social media called Mastodon. Have you guys heard of it?
Okay.
It's
Whoa.
it seems like
For a second.
it seems like it's almost the Reddit of social media.
Mastodon had a new album.
It's got nothing to do with the band.
I don't know about the... how you say Insta instead of Instagram.
Yeah.
Master.
Is everyone going to say Master for that one?
But that could be anything. It could be Masticate.
Blaster
It could be
Master.
Master Blaster.
Master Sword.
See you on Master tonight.
Yeah.
Dude, okay.
Mate, you mastering over there. I see you having a little master.
Anyway, if you're listening to us on iTunes, why
Doing
not
it
give us
for
an
the
iTunes
masters.
review? If you see us on Facebook, give us a like. Give us a little bit of whatever.
It was Facebook.
Watch the short we came out with last week. That was pretty funny. I'm not sure how it stacks up to with the other shorts in terms of rank.
How short is it?
Oh. 2 minutes. Was that an actual question?
That's the answer. There we go.
Anyway,
He knew.
thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
China.
China.
I mean,
China.
Chris isn't going to
China's
be
in
here
Chris.
for 2
China.
weeks.
Chris is in China.
Yeah, Chris isn't going to be in China like Jono was in China. When are you going to China?
You're just
I am trying to avoid that part of
be
the
your
world.
own man, Chris.
Sorry,
I'm trying to
everybody.
avoid that whole part of the world, but Chris is going to resolve the North Korean conflict
I
while
will.
he's there.
Ah, that'd be great.
It'll be good.
Thanks, Chris.
Can you pick
Seriously.
up some chopsticks while you're there?
All right, thanks for watching.
I don't quite get what that was about.
Alrighty, see you next week.
Watching.
7.